Geist is an action-adventure game made specifically for the GameCube, and at the time was designed to be one of its biggest IPs. Developed by N-Space and published by Nintendo, it received middle-of-the-road reviews and was the flagship title for a publisher that never really got the chance to make their own games. But Geist is a perfect example that just because a developer can make their own games, have an easy development cycle, and a phenomenal partnership with its partner, it doesn't mean things will always work out for the best. Earlier this week, I asked my subscribers what GameCube games should I play next, considering I really enjoy playing GameCube games and talking about them. One of the responses I got was to play Geist, and since this game was already on my massive to play list anyway, I decided to give it a shot. And oh boy.
What am I watching?
You're watching me play Geist.
What the fuck? Why don't they just stop driving? This is very clearly like reaching you closer to your objective, right?
Yes.
Okay, so since you're not possessing the car, and you're only possessing the machine gun on top of the car, which in and of itself is stationary, wouldn't just them not driving be able to stop you from completing your objective?
Yes.
Bryson just died. What the fuck was that? No way.
You can still hear the car. You can hear the car.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What is that smile, bro?
Like, when designing... What the fuck? Oh, look at his arms! Look at his arms!
Oh.
That's exactly what he said.
No way. How did you even see that guy?
I don't know.
Like, not shooting you, just looking at you.
He's just making sure that the gun is working.
I just noticed their glasses don't spawn in. Oh, you know what it is? It's two different kinds of textures. Look, you can see he's wearing it, but then you get in close.
No. Oh my god. I'm at a complete loss for words here.
Now, I want to be clear. I personally don't think Geist is a bad game. It's just not a good game. It's middle of the road, average, okay. But I can understand how people could argue either side. I can see the good in this game, and I can also see the bad. If you've never heard of this game, let me quickly explain what it's all about. Geist follows the story of John Ramey, a scientist and member of a counter-terrorism group who's sent out in the beginning of the game to investigate a corporation believed to be doing evil experiments, and rescue his best friend who's undercover, Thomas Bryson. After one of John's teammates become possessed, the team gets ambushed. John and Thomas get captured, and John's spirit gets separated from his body to be used as a super soldier to infiltrate a world's leaders summit to kill diplomats and eventually control the world. Did you follow that? With John now as a ghost, his goal is to rescue Thomas, find his body that's now possessed by another spirit, and uncover a sinister plot involving a demon, monsters, and a child ghost. As complicated as this plot may seem, I do kinda like it. I'll give credit where credit's due, and after playing a ton of GameCube games that didn't really have fully voiced cutscenes or even cutscenes, I'm honestly just glad that we got something, even if it's not always the best. With John as a ghost, he now has the ability to possess the souls of people and objects. Using these powers, he can control enemy soldiers to gun them down or take over objects to scare people.
I'm a Geist that really likes to pull. My dance was just sacrifice the entire altar.
All jokes aside, I really do like this concept. From the gameplay elements to the story, Geist was unique in what it was trying to do. And gameplay wise, it really does offer something different that we don't really get to see often in gaming. I mean, complete possession of characters and controlling them in a first-person shooter environment, while the other style of play has you figuring out how to solve puzzles to not only progress, but to scare soldiers so you can possess them. But one of the main problems with the game is that as fun as these two concepts are, that's all it ever really feels like. It's two separate concepts put into one. While individually these concepts work, mixed together in the same game, it's clear this game has somewhat of an identity crisis. A first-person shooter and puzzle genre can work, like with Metroid Prime, and how it seamlessly blends both flawlessly. In the case of Geist, both game styles don't ever feel like they got the chance to shine by themselves, so combining them just really highlights how unpolished this game really is. Unrefined controls, confusing objectives, repetitive gameplay. Yeah man, this game could have definitely used more direction. When you are a ghost, you're always slowly taking damage and dying, only regaining your health when picking up these random plants and possessing objects. So you're on a constant hunt for what can you possess next. What makes this form enjoyable is that the world moves in slow motion when you're a spirit, and shy for a very small handful of enemies, usually they don't even know you're there. So when you possess someone or something and leave their body when they die, you could just view the world in slow motion and then slip right through and possess someone else. This part of it plays great. The problem is that controlling the game doesn't always feel that great, and when it's time for puzzles, you're given little to no direction. A lot of the time you're left wondering, what do I do next? Which, okay, it's a puzzle game, I get it. Why do you need direction? But the gameplay just doesn't make it easy even without it. On multiple occasions, the game would just not work. There's so many times I went by an object I could possess, but the game just wouldn't let me do it. And sometimes those very objects are exactly what I needed to progress. And if that wasn't enough, while the possession mechanic itself is unique, like mentioned, it becomes so repetitive and rinse and repeat that it's not that fun anymore within the first hour of play. Controlling a bat or a rat, cool, I like that, that's different, that's unique. But controlling a dog bowl? Bro, what? When you possess a human, the game then turns into your classic early 2000s era shooter, using weapons like snipers, RPGs, and grenades to kill both monsters and soldiers alike. Just like the puzzle aspect of this game, sometimes it's really fun, and possessing different soldier types and coming up with creative ways to kill your enemies is enjoyable. It just doesn't play that great. In a day and age where COD 1 is 2 years old and RE4 is setting the standard for shooters, this game just controls okay. I feel like the best example of how mid the gameplay is are the boss encounters. Each boss feels so bad, and the monster ones in particular just are annoying. They're not hard, but they're just not fun. This tentacle boss one in particular can only be shot when he opens his mouth, even though he's made of flesh and opens his mouth multiple times throughout the fight. You have to wait for a specific animation to deal any kind of damage to him. And if you miss that very short window, you have to wait through his cycle of random bullshit for him to do it again. And even still, it's not even guaranteed that he'll do it at the end of the animation cycle. And you have to fight this boss multiple times. And though I do somewhat enjoy the story, I can't say the same for the voice acting and its graphics. This game looks like it's stuck in between PS1 and PS2, and at times it could be kinda ugly. And this is coming from someone who plays a lot of platformers, so usually doesn't have problems with bad graphics.
Oh yeah! This is happening!
From its wonky animations, clipping faces, and just poor looking level design, it's crazy to think that this was the same year Resident Evil 4 came out on GameCube. And you already know how that game looked. And while some characters sound okay, others...
The simulation is ready to initialize, sir.
You had one job to do. You were ordered to lock down the containment wing and you failed.
Sir, we can't. We've lost containment. If we widen the rip...
Boost the power now!
Are you insane? We've lost the containment field. If the opening becomes any bigger, then God knows what will come through.
Yeah man, this game is something else. While I did enjoy my time with it, and this game does have cool moments, at the end of the day, it never really got the chance to master its own identity. Whether it's an adventure game or a first-person shooter, it's, again, just mid. But if you're curious to learn more about it, Mac McMuscles of What Happened fame delves into this and explains the interesting history this game has, so after watching this video, I do recommend you check it out if you want to learn more. I'm glad I was finally able to play this game, and though it sucks what the end product was, I'm glad the developers were at least happy with the game they got to push out. They seem to have no regrets making this, and at the end of the day, isn't that what matters? Even though controlling the soul of a fan is the dumbest. But if you want to see more videos just like this one, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. And if you have any other good, bad, or mid GameCube games you want to see me play, let me know in the comments below.